Delayed. Hi, everyone. Hi, Elena.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. I'll do a proper introduction in a minute. We'll just let people sign on. But hi, everyone. Nice to see you. How are you? My name is Jessica. I'm the social media and community manager at University of the People. I hope everyone is doing well. Like I said, we'll give people a few minutes to tune in. But why don't our students let us know what you're studying, and our applicants let us know where you're from so we can differentiate the two. If you are an applicant and you haven't saved your spot for next term yet, don't forget, I put the link in the description of this event, so you can go ahead and click it and it'll take you right to the application page. But I want to say hi to Zahir. Thank you so much for joining. Raul. Surimati. Sorry if I butchered your name. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I encourage all of our viewers to ask questions during this event. If I don't respond to your question during the event, I will review and respond after, so not to worry. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I know that Corona has impacted our students from all over the world, but I want to remind you that nothing at University of the People has changed. And with that being said, it's an honor to be here with Elena. So Elena, hi. I am going to say a few things about University of the People, and then I will bring you in for the actual interview, for the main event. So, hey, Daniela, it's nice to see you, and Rap, Mohammed, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why you should study at University of the People. So first of all, I'll make it really quick so we can get to the exciting part, which is Elena. So first of all, no pressure. We are an American accredited university. We've been accredited by the DEAC since 2014, and we are 100% online, which gives our students a lot of flexibility to balance their work, family, etc., with academics. We also have 44,000 students from over 200 countries and territories to study with us, so we have a very diverse, dynamic student body, and we are tuition free. You never have to pay a tuition or pay for school materials because everything's online. We do ask for a few minor fees, but we have grants and scholarships available if students are unable to pay for the fees, so not to worry. And we also have a world-renowned academic leadership team. Our professors come from the top universities from all around the world, such as Yale, NYU, UC Berkeley, and many, many more. Full list on our website if you're interested. Mustafa, I'm welcoming you too. Sorry. Mustafa says, why did you welcome Mohammed only? Hi, Mustafa, and Adrian, and Raul. Oh, Raul, you got two. Okay, anyways, and also we do offer personal support. So once you start your application, you are assigned an admissions advisor to help you, guide you through the process. And when you become a student, you're also assigned a program advisor to be your point of contact and support system at UoPeople. So you literally have somebody holding you every step of the way when you start your journey at University of the People. So that's about us. Now let's talk about Elena. So Elena, where do you live and what do you study?
So I live in Italy right now, and I study community and health science.
Okay, very nice. And how long have you been studying at University of the People?
I started in term 5, which is in June. So it's not very long time. This is my second term. And I'm very excited, and it was really long time that I wanted to go back to study and try to get a university degree.
Okay, that's very exciting. I'm so happy you found us. So let's talk a little bit about your background and the challenges you faced with getting a higher education?
Yeah, the thing is, because when I was young, I didn't have internet, and I chose to be a professional dancer, a ballet dancer, and I've been performing all my life. So I had to stop my studies after the high school, and especially in my country, till now we don't have a university for performers, like a performing university major. So either you will go on academically at home, or if you want to be, and if I wanted to be an artist, I had to just drop the studies. So I did. I didn't regret, because I had a wonderful life, very exciting, and I fulfilled my dream. But still, it was always here in the back, this wish to go back to study. Because I started also a new career. I'm a language teacher, and I made some specialization for language teaching. But still, it's very important to have a university degree. And I tried many times in different ways with different institutions to go back to study. But first of all, it was very hard, because most of all these institutions, they were very expensive, and I couldn't afford them, because as an artist, very seldom you have a fixed job. You always have to be prepared for worst, for bad times, and we know about that right now with the COVID, right? So, and because of the COVID, actually, I found out about the University of the People, which for me was a great opportunity to go back to study. And the only regret that I have, that I didn't find out earlier.
Wow, it's so nice to hear. I'm happy you're having a great experience. So, side note, you have traveled the world because of your career as a professional ballet dancer. Maybe you can talk about how many countries you've lived in, how many languages you speak. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, first of all, actually, the very first, let's say, trip, when I left Italy, I went to live to New York. That's where I learned English. I won a scholarship to study in an academy over there. And from there, after a couple of years, more or less, I got a contract to dance in Germany. So then I went to live to Germany, and in Germany I learned German. And then afterwards I was having very short contracts. Sometimes I will go shortly in Belgium, then in England, then finished, let's say, my performing career directly, and I went into teaching. After many years that I was living in Germany, I decided to move in a warmer country. So I moved actually to the Canary Islands in Spain, where I was there until August. But unfortunately, because of the COVID, I had to come back to Italy, to my homeland, because here there are more work possibilities. And Fuerteventura, the island where I used to live, it's an island that mainly live from tourism. You can imagine now people are not allowed to travel anymore. They cannot go to in holiday anymore. So it got really tough. So I was lucky that I had connections still with my homeland, and I could come back here and work here. And with University of the People, the great advantage is that doesn't matter wherever you go, as far as you have an internet connection, you're safe, and you can keep studying and following the programs, which is not really the same with any other university on presence. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. You can study anywhere, anytime, as long as you have an internet connection. That is true. So, what has your experience at University of the People been like, as far as learning, studying, courses, instructors, students, other people you met? Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yes. It was very intimidating at the beginning, because I had previous online experiences. But then I have to say, this is the very first time that I feel completely involved and committed. because what I find very good with University of the People is how the courses are organized. Like, it's, first of all, the web page is very easy. They go straight to the point. You know where to go, what to write, and then you have a study plan that it's weekly. So it's not like my previous experience where they would tell me, okay, this is the course. They put you the material or the videos, whatever they're gonna use, and this is the date of the exam, and that's it. University People has a structure that for me it works very well, even if I feel a lot under pressure, I have to say. But it's very important for me to keep me on track, because every week you have these deadlines. You have to give your assignments, your journal, discussions. So you have to, otherwise you might not go on, or you're gonna fail, which on one side, yes, you feel under pressure, but of course, during the week, you're flexible. You can decide how or when you're going to study, because it's not that you have to be online in a certain time, you know. But on the other side, it's nice because it's very good for people. They tend to procrastinate. So you're not allowed to procrastinate with University of the People. So you really have to, you know, on that day of that week, you know, at that time, it has to be done. And because also there is the system with peer assessment, which sometimes it's hard, sometimes you can get upset, but on the other side, it's very good for connecting with people. And I had fantastic connection now with some students, and we really work daily together. Like a very nice school-like situation was created from this experience. So, and I'm very thankful for that. So in struggly times, I never feel alone, and this is the great things about University of the People.
That's really nicely said. Thank you, Elena. I really appreciate that you said that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you do now, because you have a very interesting job, and I'll tie that into University of the People as well. But why don't you talk a little bit about what you're doing right now for work?
Well, I'm a dance and language instructor, and sometimes also a singer, depending on the gigs. Or, well, now with COVID, is everything very slow, but otherwise, but mainly I'm a teacher. Yeah, and as a teacher, well, another reason why I went back to study actually was very intrinsic motivation. Like, I just love learning. And my favorite hobby is neuroscience. I'm very interested in the study of the brain. That's why also my teaching, I like to work in an interdisciplinary way, because studying a lot about neuroscience, reading many articles, it's very interesting to see how putting together many disciplines and interconnecting them makes learning not just more fun, but also more effective. And when I landed in the University of the People, I was very happy to see that I could study health science, because in health science there are many subjects and courses that I have to take, which they're very let's say they are on the topic about psychology, health psychology, biology, which is very hard. And for sure other stuff are coming, and biopsychology. So it was something that I'm very interested in. I don't know how far I'm gonna use it afterwards, in the sense like if I'm really gonna work in the health field, but definitely it's gonna help me also with my artistic life, in the way I want to approach art at this time of my life, let's say.
It's very interesting. And how is studying online helpful in terms of your job?
It's very accommodating, because of course I can choose and organize my own schedule. when I have time, and I don't have to follow. The only deadline is just at the end of the week that I know that I have to write all these assignments, journals, or I have some tests. But in between is up to me. So this online format, it's very useful and comfortable for people like me that they have a family. I have a daughter, the husband, and my job, and so I wouldn't cope in a on present university right now. It wouldn't be possible. And
Right.
online, of course, it's very accommodating. It's very effective for people like me. And I guess most of the other students that we have at the University of the People, they have a very similar situation.
Yeah. I interview a lot of students, and I speak with a lot of students who have families, they have, careers, and so they kind of fit University of the People in when they can, so they can get their degree. I'm going to shift it a little bit because I'm curious. We all know that COVID-19 has impacted everyone around the world. How has it affected Italy?
Oh, at the beginning, it was very well. You know that after China, Italy, I guess, was the second one who started a lockdown. It was very badly met. And at that time, there was February, March. I was still living in the Canary Island, where actually was the opposite. We didn't have many cases or almost none. Well, also we haven't been very much checked there, let's say,
Yeah.
but nobody died. So probably many factors plays roles, and Italy had a very very hard time. And so many people, they had a very long lockdown. Unfortunately, many people died, and many people got sick. Right now, Italy is doing pretty well, not fantastically, but it recovered a lot, and we are taking precautions. But let's say, we are not the worst in Europe. We have other countries, unfortunately, that are really doing bad. And so it was very hard, and people had to stay home. And I guess for Italian students, they were already studying with the University of the People, was nothing new. In a way, it didn't affect their
Right.
program. It's
Yeah.
also the big advantage when you study online.
Yeah. In fact, I have spoken to a lot of students who are so grateful for University of the People because it was like some sense of consistency in these crazy times. So that's also really nice.
Absolutely. I felt very lost because I lost my jobs when I was in the Canary Island, when the thing started. And when I found out the University people and this dream to go back to study and maybe one day to achieve a degree, it gave me so much motivation and positivity, like something to looking forward.
That's so nice to hear. So I'm going to shift it back to University of the People, or education related. So what tips do you have for students looking to maybe transition to an online degree? Maybe there's people out there who've dropped out of college, or they're not going into the fall semester because of COVID-19. What sort of tips do you have for those looking to transition to an online degree?
Well, the thing is, as usual, if you don't try, you won't know it. And it's worth it to try, especially with University of the People, that it doesn't imply that you're committing economically in something that you might regret because you have some life changes, and then you can do it anymore, and then you have to struggle to get maybe fees back or whatever. This is the best thing about, not the best, one of the very good things about University of the People, that you feel you're encouraged to take the risk. Because the worst thing that can happen, that you just you don't make it, but you don't have bad economical consequences for yourself, for the family eventually. And it's a very interesting way to study. Of course, it is different from on present. Nobody can deny that. But University of the People really gives you a great opportunity to connect and not to feel alone. And actually, because it's online, but because probably if you study on present, usually you have 1,000 things to do, and then you have no time to meet this person and that person. So most of the time, even if you go to a normal university, you communicate with your people online because this is our new reality. Let's say it. So it won't change that much. I thought it would have been much more different, but actually it's kind of like, ooh, but of course you have to be very self-motivated because you won't have the teacher, the instructor breathing on your neck. I don't know if you have this expression in English. We say that in Italy. So you have to be very mature and consequent and self-motivated. But if you struggle with that as well, that's why it's very good to connect. So this is what I suggest. Just give it a try, and there is always the chance you decide otherwise. Nothing is gonna make a problem with that, you know.
Right. And I just have one last question. So you have a family, you have a daughter, and you have a family, and you have school, and you have your job. What sort of tips or tricks do you have for time management?
Yes, well, first of all, don't worry. The very first term, you have a very good university course about your time management. They're gonna help you with that. So the platform also has like support, and you have to think really. University of people, even if it's an online university, like on present university, like you have to organize your time. Okay, this is the reality because it is time consuming. You have to do a lot of research. It's nothing easier like people think, oh, it's just the online university. No, no, no. You have to write a lot. I was shocked. I was, oh my God, after so many years, I wasn't able anymore to write an assignment, essay, journal. So you really have to be well organized and check your schedule, organize your week, ask your family support because they have to know that you are going to change because it takes time. It's not easy. It's good, but it's not easy. So this is the tip. I see that many things that I could do before, now I have to become very selective. So I prepare my weekly schedule and always leave some time, spare time for emergency. Because you never know what is coming every week, the material, you have to do a lot of research. This is not high school, this is university. So there is a lot of research.
Okay, well, these are amazing tips. You guys, if you have any questions for Elena, please write them in the comments. I didn't really see any. I saw a few, but you covered people's questions. So if there's any final questions, let us know. Elena, thank you so much for joining me today. It was really
as well.
It was really a pleasure interviewing you, and I knew as soon as I read your story about being a professional ballet dancer and singer that you were going to be super interesting to speak with. So thank you. I appreciate you fitting us into your busy schedule. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't applied to UoPeople yet, we do have a deadline coming up. Our early admissions deadline is October 2nd. So don't forget to save your spot. And if you have any questions, you can always email admissions@uopeople.edu. You can email your advisor. You can always message me on social media. Make sure to follow all of our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think I got them all. There's so that's all I got. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Elena, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And good luck to all the future students out there.
Good luck, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in. So everyone have a beautiful day and stay safe, healthy, and connected with UoPeople by your side. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.